Hello guys, welcome back to my part 7 of this series of the Java tutorials. Now in this we'll see some effective way of working with Java. Now see, when you talk about this code, this is the last time we have done this code of converting a character into a int value, or you can say ASCII value. Let's suppose if I do the same thing, if I write the same code, so the first step you have to do is you have to compile it, right? To compile it, we have to go for our to go to our command prompt, and then we have to say java c, and we have to mention the file name, which is add.java, right? And once you get the compilation, then you have to do the next step, which is running, right? So you have to say java and class name, and when you say enter, you will get the output. But the problem is you're typing your code at different place, you're running your code at different place and with different commands, right? So we have different environments to work with. So what we can do is we can just integrate all this thing, to make a single software. We'll use a single software in which you will type the code, in which you can compile the code, in which you can run the code, right? And those things in which you can compile your code is called as IDE, or you can do everything is called as IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development. It's development. It's environment. Okay, it's okay. Excuse me for my spelling. So this is IDE, right? Now, so what we can do is we can just say we can use IDEs, like we have IDE which is your Eclipse, we have IDE called which is your Netbeans, we have IDEs like JEdit. So we have list of IDEs. Now what IDE I use is Netbeans. So I use Netbeans. We have lots of version of Netbeans. The latest version is 8.0, but I will recommend you to download the version which is 7.4 because it is stable. 8.0 is new version, so there might be some chances your code is right, but the output you will get some wrong output. So make sure you go with the stable version. So go with 7.4. Still, I've already installed 8.0. I'll be using 8.0. In order to download your Netbeans, what you can do is you can go to your browser and you can type here download Netbeans. It will take to a site called as netbeans.org. Yeah, this is your site. From this site, you can download this software. So they will be having multiple versions. Oh, it's taking lots of time. Yeah, so the current version available is 8.0, but I will recommend you to download 7.4. It's stable version. But if you want to experiment with Java 8, go with Netbeans 8.0. So it will take to a download page. Okay, now in this download page you have multiple bundles. The first bundle is normal Go Java bundle, in which you will be getting the base IDE, you will be getting Java SE, you will be getting FX. No other feature. In order to create enterprise applications, you require this bundle. In order to work with C and C++, you require this bundle. In order to work with HTML5 and PHP, you require this bundle. And if you want to get everything, you can get this bundle. If your machine is fast, if you have 3 GB of RAM, go with this bundle, right? But if your machine is slow like my machine, go with this one initially. Okay, so once you download, you have to install it, and this is how when you install, you will be getting a shortcut icon on your desktop, and when you open it, it will take some time because it's a bit heavy. Depending upon your machine speed. Since I'm using netbook, it will work a bit slow on my machine. It's taking a long time. So I'm using Netbeans 8 IDE 8.0, but make sure when you install Netbeans, JDK should be installed. So you require some prerequisites for Netbeans. It is your JDK, and the version of JDK should be suitable with your Netbeans IDE. So if your Netbeans IDE version is 8.0, your JDK should be 8. Like I'm using JDK which is 8. Let me show you my JDK. So it's program files, and the version of JDK I'm using is 8.1.8.0. right? So it should match. Oh, it's taking long time. I guess there's some problem with my machine. It's open, right? So now I already have a project here. Let me close that project. Close. Make it fast, buddy. Okay, so the amazing part is you get new updates. Every week you'll be getting some updates. A bit annoys me, but you don't have option. You can just go to your tools and you can off your updates. Okay, so when you open your Netbeans IDE, might be you will be getting a different look and feel because I have changed my look and feel of my Netbeans. The default, you will be getting some different type of look and feel here. I have changed the look and feel for my purpose. So now, in order to work with Netbeans, first thing you have to do is you have to create a project. So when you say a new project, in this new project you have to provide a name. Before name you have to specify you are working with Java application. So you can see I have downloaded an enterprise application in which I'm getting everything. I'm getting Java Web, I'm getting Java EE, I'm getting HTML5 because I've gone for a J2EE version. Next, we are getting a normal application. Here we have to specify the project name and we'll say like my project. We can go for any name, by say my approach. Okay, and then we can say finish. And when you do this, by default this project will create a file, a normal Java file for you. So just wait and watch. So this project has already created a file for us in which you have a normal class. You have a normal class in which it is you are getting a main function. So what you can do is you can type your code here. These are all our comments, so we can remove all these comments if you want. Okay, we can remove all this thing. Now what we can do is we can type our code here. Now what I need is I need to print a statement, right? I have to print hello. So what I can do is I can say system dot out dot println, right? So if you get errors also, let's suppose if I miss n here, it will give me an error, right? So it checks for everything, and then we can in double quotes we can say hello. Okay, so now to run this thing, to run this project or to run this application, what we can do is we can just say play, right? Or you can just say you can say run, or what you can do is you can use your keyboard shift F6. So when you say shift F6, it will run the current code. It's running. And here's your output. So output is hello, right? It's very simple. But let's suppose if I want to create a new file in which I have to add two numbers, right? Again, we have done this code previously, but this time we'll use Netbeans. So you have to say right click on your project and new class, and we'll say this class name as add, and we'll say finish. Now when you say finish, by default you're getting all this thing. We'll say select all, delete. Now we'll type the code. Now something is very sure, you have to create a class. So we'll say class add. Okay, now what next? You require a main function, right? Now in Netbeans you have some shortcuts. Okay, so that shortcuts are, now if you want to type publish static void main, what we can do is you can say psvm and say tab. So when you say tab, by default you get this statement. So we have some shortcuts here. And then what we can do is we can type we want to add two numbers, right? So what we can say, we can use two variables, int a, int b, and we'll say value 5 and value 4. Then to add these two numbers we can use c and c equal to, and we can say a plus b. Okay, now in order to print we can say system.out.println and bracket c. What we can do is we have a shortcut for that also, and it is s out. So you can say s out and tab, so we'll get a statement, and then here we can print c. Let me save this and shift F6 will run this application, and your output is 9, right? So 5 plus 4 is 9. Now what if you want to create your own shortcuts? Now what I need is, let me just remove this. Now if I type A, B, C and tab, okay, in this case I should get that code. That's my new shortcut, right? So to create new shortcuts, you can go to tools and you can go to options. There is editor, and in editor you have code completion. No code completion, code templates. Yeah, code templates. Here you have lots of shortcuts, right? You have all these shortcuts. What you can do is you can create your own shortcut. So we have to say new. Abbreviation will give it as ABC and OK. And here we can say paste. We can just copy paste the code which we need everywhere. So save and apply. Okay. So what we can do is we can say, now if I say ABC tab, I'm getting the code, right? So if I say ABC tab, I'm getting the code. So that means we can create our own shortcuts in Netbeans. Okay. So I hope it was helpful for you. Please subscribe for the further videos, and thank you so much.